So good afternoon everyone. My name is Erica Panis and my topic is all about chapter 9, the good life. So for us to obtain a good life that we always wish, so you must know first what are the multiple kinds of concepts. So these are the key concepts. So virtue, what is virtue? So virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle. So simply, virtue is a kind of behavior that is thought to be good. So pleasure is being positive, enjoyable, or worth seeking mental state. So happiness is when you are already contented in your life. So you are satisfied because you already have your needs and wants. So ethics. So, familiar naman tayo lahat sa word na ethics. So, ethics is a concept of human morality such as good and evil, right and wrong, justice and crime. So, good, an object or product that is useful, beneficial. So, good is yung mga mabubuting bagay na nagawa mo sa iyong kapwa. So, common good refers to what is shared members of the given community. So, ito naman yung mga itulong mo sa or mga nagawa mo sa lipunan o sa iyong sasakupan. So, next is intellectual virtues. So, according to King, year 2014, uh, intellectual virtues are excellent personal traits or character strengths which are deemed to be morally good for thinking and learning and are often associated with knowledge and cognitive ability. So those people who are good thinkers, they know a lot of things. So we can consider that they are intelligent people and high intelligence. Pero may mga taong matatalino na tamad, tas irresponsable, arrogante, at pabaya. So ito yung mga characteristics na dapat iwasan because good thinker and learner requires being intellectual careful, honest, mapagkumbaba, at higit sa lahat matulungin. So, ito yung mga kinoconsider na intellectual virtues. So, the intellectual virtues has these following key features. So, yung una is they are acquired. So, no one is born with intellectual virtues. Yung mga intellectual virtues is na-obtain siya through practice guided by instructions. So, pangalawa, they are excellent character traits. So a person may have excellent mathematical ability but this is not considered a virtue. Yung mga taong may intellectual virtue is meron silang mahusay na disposition sa buhay regarding in decision making and accepting criticisms. So pangatlo, they involve human emotions, intentions, motivations, and values. So a person with intellectual virtue does not rejoice with falsehood but loves the truth. So yung mga tao may intellectual virtue, wala lang sa kanila kahit makakasakit sa tao yung sasabihin nila. Kumbaga prangka sila basta yun yung totoo. So kung yung tao is motivated by truthfulness and honesty, syempre intention nila is para lang din sa kabubuti ng lahat. So this reflects the principle that people value in life. So, pang-apat is they are aimed at cognitive goods. So, the goals of intellectual virtue are knowledge, truth, and understanding, which are common goods and which unify intellectual virtues and differentiate them from moral virtues. So, the last one is they are means between two extremes. So this means that intellectual virtue serve as means between the excess and deficiency. That is, courage stands between rashness, yung katapatan, cowardice, kaduwagan, while humility is or mapagkumbaba is nagiging tulay pagmamahal sa sarili at pagiging mayabang. So next is pleasure. So nakakaramdam tayo ng pleasure kapag nag-enjoy tayo sa kung ano yung ginagawa natin. Like kapag kumakain tayo ng chocolate or junk foods na kahit alam naman natin na di siya healthy sa katawan natin. Basta nasa-satisfied ka, nagbibigay yun ng so much pleasure para sa atin. So, pero yung kasiyahang pakiramdam na yan is nawawala rin. So pleasure is a significant component of happiness. So this feeling is subjective, such that individual person may experience different pleasure intensities given the same situation. So satisfying different biological needs such as sleeping, eating, and sex is associated with pleasure. So in various life activities naman such as sports, pakikinig ng music, pag-shopping, and getting what you want, give pleasures to an individual. So, but this feeling does not last a lifetime. So, if these things are gone, people do not feel pleasure anymore. So, next is happiness. So, dito, simple lang, nakakaramdam tayo ng happiness kapag kontento na tayo. Kapag nakuha or nagawa na natin lahat ng gusto natin sa buhay. So, ako, di ko pa makonsider sarili ko na meron ako nito. Kasi, hindi ko pa naman nagagawa lahat ng gusto ko. Tikit sa lahat, yung matulungan at makabawi sa magulang ko. So, sinabi ni Aristotle or dinescribe ni Aristotle yung happiness as a product of two aspects. Which is yung pleasure, so the life well lived. So, in happiness can be achieved by eliminating negative pain and displeasure to allow an individual to pursue engagement and meaning. So, experiences which seems to be pleasurable can give temporary feeling of happiness, but this does not last long since it only depends on external events like having more alcohol, more food, and more sex, and having other good things. So, due to this seeming addiction on external things, people crave for more to have a short-lived feeling of happiness. So, in comparison with pleasure, happiness can be considered as a higher level of satisfaction. So, yung simple pleasure cannot make people happy in a long run, but happiness can. So, it is not the things that people have that make them happy, but the experience of having those. So, what gives them happiness are actions like kindness, generosity, and love. So, the more people experience these actions, the happier they become. So, to sum up, pleasurable is unstable and motivated by external factors, while happiness is constant and generated within. So, next is public good. So, public good is an item or service that may be consumed without reducing the amount available for others and cannot be withheld from those who do not pay for it. So the government or state pursues it with a service orientation while private corporation pursue it with a profit orientation. So dito parang ito yung mga bagay na nagawa mo sa iyong kapwa na hindi ka nanghihingi ng anumang kapalit. So, sinabi rin dito na public good is non-excludable. So, non-excludable, ito yung mga kabutihan na nakukuha ng lahat ng mamamayan. So, masasabi naman natin na non-rival rules kapag yung tao is sinasamantala yung tulong na ginagawa mo. So, ayon kay Grapaldo, year 2009, so when there are two concepts of public good. First one is politico-ethical sense. So when we say politico-ethical sense, it is concerned regarding sa politika. So next one is politico-economic sense, concerned to the society or sa bansa. Next is the public good from the politico-ethical sense. So national, people, and public good. A public good benefits the communal or national public as it is used by greater number of the local population. So this exemplifies the philosophy of utilitarianism, an ethical theory which implies that a moral good action is one that helps the greatest number of people. binanggit ni Crepaldo. So, example of this assume necessary public services or goods are national defense, yung mga libreng educations, public health, public ports and highways, social services, and others. So, communal people and the public good. Most of the time, national good is considered synonymous to communal good. However, in some cases, a community or group of communities may believe that their communal public good does not jibe or may conflict with the national public good. Sinabi ni Cohen, year 2002. So, to illustrate a massive dam that would irrigate vast tracts of land and provide thousands of megawatts of electricity would undoubtedly become a national public good. So, however, the communal people of the place where the dam would be constructed, maapektuhan sila. Mawalan sila ng mga ancestral lands and abandonment of their traditional means of livelihood. So, maapektuhan yung nakasanayan nilang pamumuhay. So, despite of being public good, the construction of the dam may lead to abandonment due to the cause of communal rebellion. Siyempre, di mo naman maiwasan na hindi magwala yung mga tao na maapektuhan dun sa itatayo mo. Siyempre, mawawalan sila ng tirahan, magwawelga yung mga tao. So next is the public good from the politico-economic sense. So microeconomy. So microeconomy is the economic concept of the public good pertains to the benefit that may accrue an individual or a firm in pursuing a project that will offset possible losses or adverse effects and that will likewise benefit the general public. So, ito yung mga bagay na nabe-benefit sa iyo and also nabe-benefit din sa iba. Like for example, ako gusto ko mag-business and yung naisip kong business is magpatayo ng apartment, which is nabe-benefit siya sa akin kasi kikita ako and then nabe-benefit rin siya sa customer ko, yung mga walang matutuluyan. So this then makes apartment is a public good. So next is macroeconomy. So macroeconomy, there is a distinction between service and profit orientation. So industrial and business firms are profit oriented while governmental agencies are service oriented. So yung mga private company kasi, ang goal nila is magkaroon lang ng profit dahil profit oriented sila. So kapag sa gobyerno naman, service oriented sila. So may mga cases din na kapag yung company is mahina na yung kita, i-merge na lang or bilhin na lang sila ng other companies na mas malaki. So, government-owned or controlled corporation are basically service-oriented, but they are encouraged to be self-liquidating. So, in some instances, when the subsidies increase rather than decrease, the losing corporation is privatized. So, given this case, the annual subsidies used to be given to that corporation can now be channeled to more productive projects, while the same service can be provided by the newly privatized corporation. So that's all. Thank you for listening.